Okay, your handle, you're going to start out with a coil. And you're going to flatten your coil some with your rolling pin. So not completely, just a little bit. Then next, with your sponge, you're going to smoothen out your edges. Same on the other side. And some people like to have a groove right here in your handle. If that's what you like, you're using your thumb and you're pressing it in with your thumb to get that groove, that indent. You don't have to do this, but sometimes you see handles with that indent. Now, your handle is going to go on your seam wherever you attach the slabs. So make sure you remember where it is. The other thing, now from a side view, you need to figure out what you want your handle to look like. This is way too big, right? So you have to figure out what is a good size for your handle. I recommend it fits 4 fingers because it's a pretty decent size mug. The other thing you need to figure out, do you want your handle sticking out of the mug? Personally, I think this is annoying and irritating, and this has to do with functionality, because when you have to stack it in your cabinet, I can't fit anything else on top of it. Also, when I'm putting it in the dishwasher, right, it's not going to fit because of that handle. I prefer to have my handles lower like that. Okay, and you see how I'm having my handle come up like that? Again, that's a personal preference. If you like it better that your handle sticks out straight, then you need to do it that way. But as I said, I like mine sticking out that way. So what I need to do is cut my part of my I guess my flattened coil in an angle so it already has that curve. Right here. So now, see, it's a perfect fit right there. Also, it's way too long, so I'm going to cut it a little shorter. I think that is a good sized handle. You see that? Also, I'm not bringing it all the way down to the bottom because I want to be able to glaze that part, right? So where my handle ends is slightly higher than touching the bottom. Alright, this is how I like to attach my handles. I'm putting the mug in my lap. Right, this is where the seam was. Because it gives me a better visual that my handle's going straight down and not in an angle. Because if I'm doing it sideways on the table, I can't really see that my handle's going straight down. So that's why I like to do it on my lap. Right, I'm going to, I guess this is where I want it to be. Make sure it's straight. Also not sticking out. Marking where it touches. And then I'm going to score that part. The reason you're adding your handle to your seam is to give it extra strength, right? Because this is your weakest joint. Get some slip. Now, and when I'm pushing it on, I'm going to support it on the inside and pressing it on the outside. Now I'm going to figure out where the bottom part goes, right? So I still need to Make sure I like that curve. I can play around with it. Maybe I want it a little shorter, then I can always chop it off up here. I think I'm gonna cut it off just a little bit. I think it's too long. So I want my handle to end right here. So I'm just gonna, like a 1/4 inch, I'm gonna chop away. Mark it, score, score, slip. And again, put your hand on the inside and you're pressing it on. Just like that. Right, I can still play around with the curve slightly. Now if this was already fired and glazed and ready to be used, right, and you pour all the liquid in it, all the weight is going to be right on this joint. So I always add just a little bit of clay on the top here and right here at the bottom. I don't want it to break. I'm blending that in with my needle tool. Next thing I'm going to do with my sponge, I'm going to clean up, make sure there's no scoring marks or nail prints or cracks in your clay from bending it. Fix your handle some. All right, so I'm going to put this away and let gravity help me. So I'm going to, that's another reason why I don't have my handle stick out. I'm going to put this away upside down, right? So the weight of the clay will make sure that handle falls down and not distort. So I'm going to put this away for a couple days. It needs to stiffen up some, get leather hard, and then we're going to do our next step.